Hi, good to see you. This is Esther at Stampin' Star Creations, nearly forgot the name, with Stamp Around UK Video Hop. And this month's theme is about our favourite technique. I've kind of cheated and I'm giving you a 3 for 1 today, showing you a few of my favourite techniques. So I'm using Sweet Strawberry for today's project, and stamping on 3 post-it notes is a great way to be able to get a few masks out from one stamped image. So masking is one of my favourite techniques that I'm going to show you today, and I don't know why I stamped the strawberry in green, because I'm not actually going to use green for the strawberry later. And coming in with embossing, another favourite technique. As you can see, I'm stamping in Versamark ink first and then into polished pink, and this picks up the Versamark ink, which helps the surface to be ready to take on the embossing powder, which means you can turn any ink colour with the Versamark and have almost what looks like that particular colour embossing, but you're just using clear on top. I hope that makes sense. I think it does. Just gives a nice glossy finish to your work, and it acts as a relief for when we come to do our watercolouring later on, which is another of the techniques that is one of my favourite ones to do. So coming in again to do a second strawberry and using that mask to my advantage, so it looks as if the strawberries are overlapping. And then once I've heated that up, I'm also going to mask that over. You may notice that I've cut the shape down a little bit narrower than the actual design, and that's because you want to allow yourself space for the paper. If you go and stamp over it, it will leave you a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a silhouette, not a shadow. Halo, that's the word, a halo. So coming back in with my leaves and flowers to stamp the rest of the images on there in Just Jade, and again repeating the process with the clear embossing. And here the peel and reveal, nice and slowed down for you. Love this bit. Okay, it looks a bit naked at the moment, but don't worry, because I'm going to come in now with the aqua pens. So like I said earlier, the embossing powder acts as a bit of a relief and keeps the water in place. I've stamped on a shimmery white cardstock, so this acts as a great surface if you want to add water to it without the water completely running away with you like it would on watercolour paper. I felt that the green was getting a little bit lost, so I've come in here and added Granny Apple Green, but rather than just add it as a full strength colour, I'm mixing it with the Just Jade to break down that green and to blend it in, so I've got this nicer lighter shade around the edges of the leaves. And then coming in with, I think I used a bumblebee for the centre of the flowers. I wanted to choose slightly different shades, unlike your traditional greens and reds. I've gone for pinks and a nice paler green. Then I'm using 2 shades of the pink, so bringing in Melon Mambo as well as the polished pink to create more shading on the strawberries. So coming in with the darker shade, which is the Melon Mambo, and just using the water from the aqua brush or the water brush and just painting in the edge of the strawberries, and then the water will make the ink lighter the more you colour, and then just working my way to the centre to make sure it's a bit lighter in the centre. And then working on adding some more darker colour around the edge. And then where the shadow would be from the other strawberry, and then finishing the other one up as well. It's amazing how much ink it actually holds in the ink, so I wanted this middle bit to be a little bit more diluted, so I'm just trying to dilute off some ink before I finish off the centre. Coming in to top off the strawberries, and I thought rather than trying to mask, I'd just use the punch shapes. So the strawberries look a bit less naked now, but they still looked a bit bland, so I've coming in and just giving them a bit of shading with the blending brush. Makes all the difference. For this third technique I'm showing you, I did this a while ago on a live that somebody suggested about popping up. It was a pineapple stamp I had. So I'm using my embossing tool from the Take Your Pick tool to outline the strawberries from the front side, and then I know the shape of the strawberries. And as you can see, when you turn it over, you've got the outline and you can see exactly where you need to rub. So just using the end of my Tombow glue, because it's a great round blunt surface, and then trying again with the Take Your Pick tool with again the blunt surface, and just giving it a rub and breaking down those fibres. So by doing this, it's creating a nice sort of bumpy surface to make those strawberries look 3D. So this is your third technique for me today, or third of my favourite techniques. So just trying to get out that crease with my lid there. Now it's amazing how much that you can really push and pull at this paper, and how much give it will take without actually piercing the paper. So hopefully you can see online that it does help it to give it a raised effect. It's not like really 3D, but it does make a difference to the shape. So I'm just using the Tombow to roll over the strawberry tops as well to make it look consistent. So I had some scraps, some offcuts of this in colour paper and this paper which was from Abstract Beauty, and they were the perfect colours for my project. So I'm just going to cut these down whatever size the scrap was to 3 7/8. Just bear in mind I do cut these down a bit later. So this one happens to be about 2 inches, which is just over 5 centimetres. And this one was about 3 1/8 of an inch. And again, cutting it down to 3 7/8. So the idea, well, this particular scrap, look, fitted perfectly with the strawberries, but I thought, no, it's not going to go with what I want it to, so I carried on and cut it down. So I just wanted to see how it'd look without a border all the way around, but it didn't look right. So I'm coming back to my trimmer with both pieces, and I'm just going to cut off about another 1/8 of an inch off that. And I think it looks better with the border all the way around. And here it looks with the strawberries in front. So I wanted this picture to stand out more without adding more card. So I'm just coming in with the blending brush again and give it a nice vignette look around the edge. So let's go ahead and stick this down now. I was about to stick it, and then I turned the paper over and I was like, oh, I quite like that side. It looks like a trellis, and it would go maybe better with the strawberries, but now I don't know. I like this side as well. And I was like, why aren't the people here to tell me to vote and to help me out? In the end, I thought, oh, I've got to make up my mind. So I did go for this more trellisy side. So please leave me a comment below and let me know which side you would have voted for, whether you would have gone for the string of beads or whether you would have gone for the trellis side. So I was like, quick, I've got to decide. So there we go. And this side wasn't a problem. So to make the strawberries remain popped up and 3D looking, I'm just adding dimensionals into this space where the strawberries are. And then we're just going to glue around the edges. So coming back in with my wet glue and coming right up to the edge of the strawberries, but not overlapping the dimensionals, and then coming around the edge, make sure it's got enough glue for that to adhere. And when you stick that down, the dimensionals will help those strawberries to pop up and the rest of the card to stick down. Hopefully you can see from the angle that they do pop up slightly, and if you run your fingers across them you can feel them. It's really difficult to show, you know, obviously not in real life, but you just have to take my word for it. So this polished pink gets mounted onto Just Jade. I'm just lightly putting on these dimensionals so that if I wanted to move them about I can. Then I'm adding these little water droplets, they're from the epoxy resin embellishments, I think, can't remember the name. I keep fiddling with these hexagons to get them in the right, to make sure they're all looking the right way round. I got there in the end. And then I've come in with Wink of Stella, just a hint of it, just for a little bit of shine and sparkle. I don't know if the camera really picks it up, but it just aids that nice shimmery white paper. So do just stay for a little bonus of the insert. I thought I was finished, but then I thought, oh, it'd be nice, just, you know, while you got the stamps out, to complete it. So I'm just using the blending brush in the corner, stamping a strawberry and the strawberry top, and then rather than trying to fiddle with watercolouring, I've added that strawberry in and I've coloured it in with some blending pens. So there's my project for this month. I kind of feel like I've cheated, but hey, I've given you 3 for the price of 1 here, with lots of different techniques to have a go at and be inspired with.